Good morning. It is Monday. I can't believe it's Monday already. This weekend actually went pretty fast. I will seat my tea as you all come in. Oh, I got my email. Please don't reset. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Me now. I not to quote anyone or play on anyone else's type of little thing, but this is really me. My wife's birthday was yesterday, and as you all well know, she she did not want to party. And as I've said, all I heard was surprise me. So little surprise party. Didn't want it big. She hadn't been feeling well at the beginning of the week, and I knew she didn't want a big party. So that's why I'm having the big party. But anyway, so had a couple friends over. She had no clue. In fact, it was awesome. We were trying to figure out how to get her out of the house, and she left the house on her own. And then we didn't know when she was going to be back. So that was one of the funny things. Cake, ice cream, hanging with the fam, friends. It was pretty good. So I survived the event by not her murdering me. I got her these big I don't know, they're balloons. They're not latex. They're the other kind. They're like the metal ones, like I don't know what the material is. But anyway, so they're these big 5 and a big 0. So I figure we can, me being cheap, we can always reuse those for my birthday. That's good. All righty. So what's on the docket for today? I am let's just say this. So on Saturday, I did a crimp class. One of the first actual crimp user certification courses based on my curriculum. Now, Tom and Ed over Tom Gallo and Ed Frawley, I think his last name is. Anyway, so they're over in New York. Bram considers them his crimp babies, but they're they love the tool. And not to say I don't love the tool. They love the tool, and they've been teaching. They teach classes every couple months. And so a while back, I wanted to legitimize more the tool. Bram had a curriculum, but it was not organized or set up like the other law enforcement tools that I've taught in the past, like, OC, baton, taser, all that kind of stuff. There's a slide deck, there's a physical exam, there's a written exam. Even though Bram had done things kind of like that, it wasn't like that. And I see people coming in. Please, if you can, say hi. Put it in the comments. So anyway, so I did. I did the class, or I had organized the curriculum, paperwork, shot video with Bram, shot my own video for the slide deck presentation. So you could either watch the video or you could, hey Harvey, or you could There we go. Hey, Harvey. Or you could use you could either use me doing the video, or you could do, there's a slide deck so you could do the presentation. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I had not yet taught a class organized on my thing. I had done it. I had kind of taught it in my head, and I wasn't really sure how long it was going to take. Normally, CERT classes are about 4 hours, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. But taught my first one, and it actually went pretty well. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. It's too bad that people just aren't interested. I sent off information flyers to I think 25 local security companies saying, hey, here's a tool. I'm going to be I'll be, I've got classes going on. We could do classes for you if you wanted. No bites, not one bite. So anyway, I'll probably be sending out another set of videos or set of mailers to those same companies just to say, hey, we've been having great classes. Too bad I haven't seen any of you here. Whatever. It is what it is. But so that was actually fun. Did that Saturday. Have been toying with how I'm going to expand on my my classes. Trying to do, I want to do like a, I don't want to get too thin, like thin myself out, but I think offering like a kickboxing workout type thing in the morning, or even at noon would be kind of cool. I was thinking about doing like a morning class, I was thinking, okay, so when it comes to morning classes, there's only like one school locally that I can find on a website, at least in Vancouver, that has a morning martial arts class that is like, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, do I want to do something like that? Is that something, how is there, here's more on it. Is there a need for something like that? That's more of it. So I was thinking, okay, well, why not? Now I was thinking, do I want to do it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or do I want to do like Monday, Wednesday, or I just want to stick with like the stereotypical Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, because you get that stereotypical Monday vibe. Do people really want to get up at 6 a.m. on a Monday to go to a martial arts class or a workout class and then go to work? I don't know. Is there a need for that? Ha ha. You're funny. Good morning, Thomas. I don't know if you caught the beginning. The proof that I'm doing this live is I am still alive from throwing Lisa that little party. So anyway, that's kind of one of my thoughts is, and I don't want to overthink it, because I also want to think of, even though I am dedicated to the school and this is what I want to do I want to wake up super freaking early? And do I want to wake up super freaking early on a Monday morning to go teach class or to be there if no one shows up? I don't know. I don't know. Now I could turn it into just I'm just going to show up to do my workout. I get up, I work out, I come home, I shower, I take my daughter to school, and at some point she's going to be going to school on her own. So I won't have to worry about that. I do my podcast. I don't know. So there's a bunch of different things that I'm trying to think of. I've also considered doing an afternoon thing, but I don't know about that. I think the morning thing would be more forgiving than, or I think the morning thing would be something that would be more interested, or, people would be more interested in that than there would be in the afternoon or in the noon class, the lunchtime class. So yeah, don't know. But I am opening up 1 day a week as well as 3 day a week trainings if people want to do that. I just have to update the website and make sure that people can sign up for that shit. Oh, yeah. It might not be big to start, but once people find out, it should pick up. Well, I would like to think that. But even in advertising, even though opening a school and having a storefront and being there 4 or 5 days a week, having, the last few Saturdays, I've actually had some big events. Lights are on, which I have another story. I have another quick story to tell on that. Not growing as fast as I was expecting. And not to think that I was just like, ooh, I'm just going to open a school and people are going to come. I'm not that dense. But even in advertising, like, it's just not like, I'm just going to have to, figure out different ways to advertise a school and see about that. So, but I am getting people in the door. It's just getting the people in the door to start. Like, people have stopped by, asked questions, we talk, but no one's actually starting, regardless if it's a free class or even a 10 for 10. And here's the thing is that I do have a 10 for 10 thing, 10 days for $10 in the window. I have this little secret QR code on some coloring sheets that I've handed out that if you scan it, takes you to a page to say, hey, sign up for two free lessons. I was thinking about having artists and martial arts shirts done and then having a QR code on the back and then be like, find out more about training. And then they go to a page and be like, hey, guess what? You're crazy enough to scan scan a QR code on the back on the back of some strange dude. You deserve to train with me, or some funny shit like that. I don't know. But just different ways. So I was thinking about different things like that, seeing, how that might work. But I want to stick with, at least for a little while, see how different things work. So like right now I'm doing 10 for 10, and this is the last month. The postcards have gone out. So at the beginning of June, maybe middle of June, I'm going to stop the $99 thing. So we'll do 10 for 10 and then straight into tuition. Then we've got, what is it? Let's see, April, May, June, July. So in August, if I switch from, if I switch from doing the 10 for 10 into like a free week, or, I don't know. I'm just going to try different things here and there. QR code on the back of the Tacoma. So, thinking that too. I haven't done any artwork on the truck at all. That is, and not because I haven't wanted to, it's just because I haven't done it yet. But yeah, I was thinking on like one window, it would be like artisan martial arts, whatever. And then on the other window, and the reason I say other window is because there's a slider in the middle. But on one side you have the artisan martial arts and telephone number, and then on this side there might be just a bigger barcode that people could scan, while on the road or whatever. But yeah, I was thinking on the back of shirts. I was thinking about having stickers made, because sometimes you just go around and I look at it sometimes as, basically it being not graffiti, but graffiti is the wrong word, but it's basically I can't think of the word, but just basically having stickers made and then just going around and then just placing the stickers randomly. It's kind of like I've done with the corrugated signs, which, they've been out for a couple weeks. I've gotten phone calls off of them. Nobody's actually started yet, which I have followed up with text messages and all that kind of stuff. So it's a challenge. One of the things, so I've also been reading this book called Atomic Habits, and I think I had mentioned this last week sometime, but it was one of those where, in the beginning he started talking about goal related habits versus identity based, goal based habits versus identity based habits. And the examples he gave, I kind of came up with. It's not about becoming a black belt. It's not about training to become a black belt. It's as the goal. It's about becoming a martial artist, because martial artists eventually become black belts. Okay. So he gave all these different, later on in the books, he talks about different techniques that people have used. So like somebody had basically he was a sales guy. So he had 2 containers. One had 100 paper clips in it. And so for every phone call he made for sales calls, he would take 1 paper clip out and put it in the container. And basically at the end of the day, or when he was done with his phone calls, all the paper clips should be in that 1 container, which means that he made 100 phone calls, or maybe it was 120, something like that. And so I was like, okay, because like Dan Anderson said, this is my time. Actually, it was funny because when I announced my resignation, he says, well, if you weren't motivated before, now you should be motivated. And he's always talked about me using my time, any open time, to basically promote the dog shit out of the school. And so he's like, you have, and so sometimes he'll ask me, what have you done to promote the school today? And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's just like, I've tried this, and you get a little bit frustrated. And so, I'll admit, yesterday I didn't do shit except for throw a party for my wife. Now, I did wear my Artisan Martial Arts t-shirt. And this is a great example of promoting the brand. And, the brand is more than just the t-shirt and the logo. The brand is who we are. And so, I go to a local, I'll just say the company name, because they were good and I was nice. And it was no fault on them on being really ass slow, but I pre-ordered these big balloons for my wife, just a big 5 and a big 0, black. Was going to pick them up at 11:30. So I get there, it's 11:30, and there's this long line. There's 2 people behind the counter, and there were some balloon setups made, but nothing. I did not see mine at all. So So I was like, okay, well, there's this long ass line. There's not a lot of people in the store. So I go buy a couple other items for my wife. I actually bought her a tiara that has the 50 and it flashes. We actually turned off the lights because we didn't want anybody to have an epileptic episode because, oh my gosh, it's, yeah, very annoying. Anyway, so I get in line and I wait and I wait and I wait and I get, and it was sad because first of all, the shelves were, it was like the apocalypse. Like when we talk about a shortage of goods, like just, yeah, there wasn't very much stuff on the shelves. And the reason I had to go to this, so I actually went to one on the other side of the city. From where I'm at, it's about a 10-mile drive, but like speed limit wise and road wise, it's like a 20-minute drive. So it's only 10 miles out of the way, but it's 20 minutes away. And, but they were the only ones with helium. So that's why I went to that specific store. So I go there, order wasn't ready, get up to the counter, and they were frivolously working on this one order because this one woman, this one Karen, had been like, "Wow, I wanted this, I did." It's like, look, you should have ordered online. Okay, so I get there and I get up to the counter, pay for my stuff. Like even orders ahead of mine were not taken care of yet. But I got up to the counter at noon. So I'm kind of already in a rush. I got there at 11:30. So looking around and getting up to the counter took me a total of 30 minutes. I spent more, let's just say this. I spent maybe a couple minutes looking around. I went straight to the old folks section, grabbed what I needed, and then got in line. They were awesome. I was frustrated because, well, I had to wait that long for the line. Only 2 people working. But it was one of those where it's like, I have built in enough time on my day to be able to do this and then go pick up food, whatever. Because my next pickup was at 12:30 for food. So it really wasn't like, I was like, I got enough time. I have enough time. But it was frustrating because I honestly really just wanted to get in there and get back because I also had to buy gas. Now, luckily, I had enough gas where I just ended up getting gas this morning because when I went to go get gas on my way from it, like backed up, like cars just backed up trying to get gas. Which, funny, when gas was cheap, there were never any lines. Now that gas is over $5 a gallon, oh my God, like lines down the street. It's crazy. But here's the thing is that if I had let my emotions get to me, if I had been like, it should have been like, turn into that Karen or Kevin or whatever you want to call it and gone off on these girls because it was noon and my shit should have been done by 11:30, that doesn't do their day any good. Okay. But I'm also wearing an Artisan Martial Arts t-shirt. So I'm bringing negative, the way that I act will bring negative things upon me. And so it's just being more conscious of like keeping myself in check because generally I'm actually a pretty nice guy. I can be an asshole. So I do identify that way sometimes. But for the most part, I think I'm a pretty nice guy, pretty, forgiving, pretty understanding. So it's one of those, things where it's like promoting the school is keeping me in check. Now let's bring in advertising on the truck. Fellow school owner, I was talking to her a couple weeks back, and she was she was telling me that one of the things that she hadn't put on her car, the reason that she wasn't advertising on her car is because she didn't want like for her to even accidentally cut somebody off and then go to her website and leave a negative review in retaliation. And I understand that. I do. But if we look at it from the standpoint that, you're advertising your company on your car, yes, you have those, you do have that potential of that being a problem. But I also think it's also good for you that's the way I look at it, it is keeping you in check. Are you going to be that asshole on the road? Good morning, Kenny. So it's one of those is like, are you going to be a more conscious driver? Are you going to cut people off? Are you going to, do whatever? Yes, it does run the risk of getting those negative comments. And, it was funny because, whenever I hear somebody say, oh, I don't want to put advertising on my car because of, getting negative comments or, whatever. And I remember back when I was running a security company and I was out driving the patrol car, and I don't know why I was specifically out in the patrol car. Maybe I was doing daytime hits, but I inadvertently cut somebody off. I didn't realize I did it. The phone rings. I answer the phone and they're like, hey, your asshole security guard just cut me off. And I'm thinking, because I'm in the car, I'm the one driving. I'm thinking, I didn't cut anybody off. But I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Do you have the vehicle number? I can get in touch with that officer and let him know. And the guy, gave him the vehicle number. We only had one vehicle. But we had a vehicle number. I bet you guys could never guess what the vehicle number was because I was in charge of numbering that vehicle. But it was funny because I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. You had that experience and I'll get in touch with the driver. But yeah, of course he had the number and he's like, oh yeah. But I think of that because I didn't know I cut him off. So Thomas, you drove the truck. No, you drove it. Guess. Anyway, give you another guess. So anyway, so that's, just being more cautious. I mean, or conscious about our actions and like how we drive and interact with people when promoting. I don't know how we got on that subject, but now going back to the school being open, I'm teaching this crimp class, and I go up to get water. They're working on something. I go get some water, and I look outside and I see this guy on a motorcycle that kind of looks like Jerry Weldon. Now, I didn't know if it was him. Kind of looked like him, but he looks over at me. I look at him. I wave. He kind of does the nod. It could have been somebody completely yeah. Now, I don't know if it was Jerry or not, but lo and behold, Jerry walks up to the door like 5 minutes later. So it actually could have been Jerry. I don't know what kind of car or bike Jerry drives, but he's funny because he comes in and he goes, hey, you got your open sign on. Because the first thing, Harvey and I were playing at the school. It wasn't late at night, but it was dark. I mean, it was, winter, so it was darker out. And we had the lights on, but the open sign was not on because technically we weren't open. It was just, us at the school screwing around. and Jerry just happens to come by. It's the first time I saw Jerry in a while, but he came by the school, and so he came in, talked for a little bit, and he gave me this suggestion. He's like, yeah. He says, when I had my school, he said all the black belts had keys to the school so they could come in and train anytime they wanted. He says, my one rule was that regardless of why you're in the school, whether it's decorating or just office work, or you're actually teaching, but if you're going to be in the school, the open sign needs to be on. And because if you're there and people want to come by and say hi, or people want information, like, you're there, you can be there to answer information. And if the open sign isn't on, you may not get those people to come by. And I was thinking, wow, that's really cool. Didn't even think of that, but I was like, done. So fast forward a couple weeks. Mike Mather is teaching a seminar at the school, and I have this Jerry stops by, and guess what I didn't do? I didn't turn on the open sign, and the door was open. People were coming in. It was an event. And so he comes in and he goes, and it was just like this, like, you didn't listen to me, you little shit kind of thing. He says, like, your open sign isn't on. And I'm like, yes, sir, I realize that. And yeah, it doesn't matter. If I am there, the open sign goes on. Like, I make it a habit. It is now a habit that when I walk in the door, I turn off the alarm, I turn on the lights, and I turn on the open sign. It's just part of the process. So, that was some valuable information. I don't know why I didn't think about that myself. There's a lot of things I didn't think about myself. So, no, the open sign, where the open sign is plugged into, it's plugged into the main sign, the outdoor sign, the box sign. So those plugs are not set up with the regular lights. It would be nice if they were like that, but it's not. So, which I still need to actually make an open sign, or not put up an actual box sign now that the box is there. But yeah, so all that kind of drama. Let's see what else is going on. Okay. Star Trek. And this is one of my pet peeves. Now, I am a Star Trek person. I love Star Trek, if you guys haven't figured that out, which is a hint to the number on the car that I mentioned earlier. But not to say that I am a better Star Trek person than anybody else. I'm just your normal. I would say I'm your average Star Trek geek. I used to be super Star Trek geeky. I think I've forgotten most stuff about Star Trek than most people know. But like, there's some people, like, if you're going to be a Star Trek fan, know what you don't know. Okay. And this is my complaint. This guy posts a Thelosian. Okay. And not a Thelosian. That's a Talos. People from Talos, little brain bubbly things. My mom always used to say that she always liked how the brain, their minds just kind of, their heads bubbled like that. Anyway, so he says, I'm really enjoying Strange New Worlds. I'm wondering if somewhere along the way there will be an episode where Pike and gang visit Talos 4. Okay, not a stupid question. Not a stupid question. But I think it should have been, hey, does anybody know at what time frame Strange New Worlds takes place in? It would be interesting to see a Talos 4 episode. That's how it should have been phrased. Because if the guy doesn't know, because legitimately, he may not actually know. That's why he's asking the question. Okay. So I'm like, at first, I'll admit, when I first read this, I'm like, are you dumb? Are you like, are you stupid? I thought you were a Star Trek fan. Because now I take, and I'm looking at it from my perspective of that, like for me, like I know, like even watching the original series, they set it up that the Talos 4 event happened 14 years prior to or maybe it wasn't that, it didn't set it up 14 years. Maybe Spock had been with Pike for 14 years. But that early on, they had gone to Talos 4. Okay. And even though I don't like Discovery, they had a Talos 4 episode where it established that they had already been to Talos 4. And here, they establish that this is less than a decade before Pike has his event. So, yeah, Talos 4. Talos 4 has already been done. So the way that the question is asked is, obviously the guy doesn't know. One of the comments, though, I think is really funny. Comments have just gone berserk, and that's why I don't comment a lot. Let's see. Somebody said, oh shoot, what was it? Because somebody said that, oh, he says no. No, do more research. And then he said, and then a lot of people are saying, no, they already did it in Discovery. They already established that they'd already been there in Discovery. Somebody actually specifically says Discovery already established the events of the Cage had already taken place. So, yeah. So anyway, this obviously the guy doesn't know, which is, do a little bit more research, rephrase your question. But some of these things, it's like Rob and I were talking. I don't think people pay a lot of attention. Like, if you're going to be a Star Trek fan, like for me, if you're going to be a Star Trek fan, watch all of Star Trek. Know your shit. That's why, and I admit, I have not watched Discovery season 4 yet, but I have been watching Discovery because if I'm going to talk shit about something, might as well know what I'm talking shit about. That's kind of my stance. I don't know. Sometimes I cringe and I'm like, really? Oh my gosh. There was a period of time as a Star Trek fan that I didn't want to be associated with Star Trek people because these people were dumb. So it is what it is. Just one of my little pet peeves. I thought I would share that with you guys. Yeah. Okay. So Voyager, your Trek. Saturday was, let's see, Friday I talked a little bit about Nemesis. And so Nemesis was, and I saw somebody had done an article, had written about, or maybe it was a post, maybe it wasn't necessarily an article, but it was a post, because Nemesis, it's Chakotay gets kidnapped by this one radical group, and he's pretty much brainwashed into thinking that their enemy is this one alien race. And it goes as far as his indoctrination in this training that that when Tuvok, somebody he knows, actually comes down to save him, he sees Tuvok as this alien, or as their nemesis. And somebody said that the indoctrination of, and I may be saying that word wrong, of different people into different groups, like this does such a good job of that you take these extremist groups, and like right now, honestly, there's very few people. There's really not a middle ground group that at least the way that it's presented. You have the alt-right and the super left. And there's nobody really in the middle. We do know that there's people in the middle because I know people kind of in the middle. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm a little bit right, but I'm kind of in the middle. But it actually kind of gave a good explanation of why, or just how relevant that episode is in today's time. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's not revolution. It's REVULSION. So it's like revolution. Anyway, I was right. This is the episode where you have the hollow character. It's an alien race who has they use them as slaves, but they have this where he goes crazy, and he does not really goes crazy. He's more tired of waiting hand and foot on these bags of flesh, and kills them. And so the doctor beams over to help him out. They don't know this at the time. And then B'Elanna beams over to help him out. And then B'Elanna almost dies. So it was an okay episode. The Raven is the episode where we get to actually see the Raven, the ship that Seven of Nine came from. So kind of she starts having these flashbacks or these walking visions, and then she's drawn to where she came from. Scientific Method is the next episode, and for some reason, this is the one. Okay, this is the one where the it was shoot. All of a sudden, people are like, they're getting sick. Janeway is starting to have headaches. Neelix gets these other weird spots, all this kind of stuff. But it's this alien race that's kind of in, like, they're cloaked or in subspace or whatever, and they're doing these experiments on them, almost treating them like lab rats. And Janeway eventually gets rid of them by flying between two pulsars. I think that's what they were, but it was. I mean, they eventually meet him because Seven of Nine, the doctor, reconfigures her vision so she can actually see him, and then she shoots one of them with a phaser, brings them back, visible, so then they talk. But it was an okay episode. Interesting. It was kind of cool to see, like, the characters with, like, neck braces on, or Janeway with these big old spikes in her head, with these people following him around, kind of, taking notes. I don't know if it was commentary on the use of lab rats, but I guess you could probably go there. Then Sunday we had Year of Hell Part 1 and Part 2. This is where this is where Red comes from this the 70s show into Star Trek and starts taking alien races out of time to fix the timeline. Actually, it was funny. Not even Red. I would just say what is it? The president of the Federation, because same actor, I can't remember his name. Same actor plays president of the Federation in Star Trek VI. And if I could remember his name from RoboCop, I might even reference him that way. But anyway, same guy, good actor. But anyway, so he's from this one race that they've created this time, this way to basically remove things, molecules, or even entire races from time. And it can re-affect everything. And it's really, he's all driven by trying to get his wife back, who died on this one outpost. So it really kind of goes to, and they call it the Year of Hell because it's all this, it's basically travel. It's this 1 year. And at the end, spoiler alert, they save the day. I'll call them back. Spoiler alert, they save the day, and then what is it? And then of course it all goes back to the original day, or the original time frame. Now, I think during Part 1, we learned that Janeway's birthday is May 20th. And it's funny, and you could totally explain this away. She actually gives a star date, and I wrote the star date down because I'm going to do some star date referencing, because, just the way they're throwing out star dates, there is a science behind it for the writers, but it's never really been connected to actual dates. Most, of course, you're like, hardcore like I am. And so Janeway gives the star date as 51268.4. So I don't know. And actually, I'm going to, since we're right here, documents, I created a stardate I haven't set it up as a calculator. It used to be a calculator. It used to actually be a what is it? Oh my gosh. Okay, so today's star date, I'm gonna have to get out. I'm gonna have to figure out how to take my thing and turn it into a calculator, because this could actually be. No, actually, no. I'm wrong. I was looking at the different number. Okay, so if we were going off of my formula, today's star date is 122. So 21st century, 22nd year. 372.7. So 372.7 is basically the 16th of May at 10:20 in the morning. Okay. Now she gives it as 268.4. It's established that that's roughly her birthday, May 20th. Well, May 20th for us is 4 days away, which would put it more around the 400. So it'd be like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll actually give you the start date on May 20th. But with her thing, it's funny because she says, oh my gosh, is it already that time? I totally thought it was April. Now, could we say that the start date, the 51268.4, would be sometime in April? It probably is. I don't know exactly when in April, but it probably is. I'll have to figure that out. But it was funny that that's established, and that, of course, the start date does not match with the calendar date. But that's just Star Trek. It's, I kind of leave that as, it doesn't have to be perfect that way. So that's just me. And then the next one, I don't even think I watched this one yet. Random Thoughts. So I'll have to talk about that later. Today is concerning flight and mortal coil. We'll get to that. We'll get to that part later. Get that one later. We'll talk about those tomorrow. So I know I've got some Star Trek to watch. I got ahead, and then I got behind, and I got ahead and behind. I was trying to get ahead so we could, because of Lisa's thing and all that. But I don't know. Like I said, it is what it is. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I really got for today. Still got some tea. Don't know what else I should talk about. Oh yeah. Okay. So, birthdays. Don't know. Okay. It is, don't know whose birthday it is today besides, it is Kwaku's birthday, Kwaku James. He is, never met him personally, have talked to him through Zoom. He is one of Bram's friends. Bram likes to beat up on him on video. So it is his birthday. So happy birthday, Kwaku. Oh, well, according to Facebook, and this is where I'm getting it from Facebook, he is a year younger than I am. So happy birthday. Again, happy birthday to Uriel, Tony, Fal. Your birthdays were over the weekend, as well as my wife's, even though Facebook has hers as the 17th. I don't know why. So anyway, and then of course we got some events coming up. We have we got Bobby and Francis down in Salem on Saturday. This coming Saturday, the 21st, which also I went to that one. I went up to the Dan Anderson thing in what do you call it? In Centralia. That was fun. I did post, it's fun being a student, and not that I was learning new things, though I don't play with sticks as much as I used to. It was fun. It was fun being there, playing with other people, not having to worry about the event, people registering, promoting. Like, that's truly what I meant about being a student. Like, not like I was able to go to the event and attend the event and enjoy the event without all the other promoting school ownerish bullshit that you need to deal. And it's not bullshit. It's everything that has to happen for the event to happen. but it was nice to not have those worries. But anyway, so that was fun. Anyway, so Francis and Bobby are going to be in Salem next week. And then on next Saturday, well, on the 27th, yes, you gotta breathe a little bit. On the 27th, we have, what's it called? And this is of course the next week, but Kenobi is coming out on the 27th, so we can talk about that. And then, but on the 28th, I've got, I got the training lab with Rory and friends. And then on the 4th, I've got my party, all day seminar with a bunch of people. And that's it for the next couple weeks. So there you go. Lots going on. I'm going to cut this short because it's almost an hour and I only have a little bit of tea left now. So everyone, enjoy yourself. Have a good day. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. Peace out.